Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Office Lovers. Along Ryo Kaido's route, we are on Chapter 2 with him, Bully. And we've already experienced some of that from him in previous routes as well as this one. Yeah, so apparently he doesn't, he's not this mean to other people. He's very nice to everybody else. But that's his way of showing affection, by being mean. So, let's see what he has in store for us in this chapter. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Today is the staff meeting for the new project I'll be working on. In charge of development for the Christmas manicure set is Mr. Otori, Mr. Hyoga, Mr. Saijo, Mr. Kaido, Mahiro, Ken, and lastly, me. I can't believe a lowly marketing employee like me got the chance to work with such talented people. I still can't wrap my head around it. Excited to start, I arrived 20 minutes early. Mr. Hyoga was there silently organizing materials. You're my number 2, Hyoga. We'll be getting to you soon enough. Hello, Mr. Hyoga. Are these materials for the meeting today?
Yes, actually.
There's so much to do, it looks like. Not even done passing things out. Do you need me to help you out?
If you could. Could you get these files sorted? Could you put them at each chair?
Sure. As I sorted out the files, Mr. Hyoga began to prepare the projector. It looks like they're going to play the commercial for last year's manicure set. Come to think of it, I bought the files I got on last year's set with me today. They might come in handy. Maybe Mr. Hyoga would be able to use them. But he might just laugh me off as an amateur like Mr. Kaido did. Mr. Hyoga?
What?
Actually, I shall hand in the files, bravely. If you'd like, you can use these files.
These are comparative sales figures from last year. You even have other companies.
I thought it might come in handy today, so I bought it.
We could probably mix these in with the slides. I'll use them, thanks.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad I could help them out. After getting those files copied and adding them to the rest with Mr. Hyoga.
Excuse me?
I heard a knock on the meeting room door.
Oh, Mr. Hyoga, you're early.
Mr. Kaido strolled through the door.
Oh, Kaido, you're 10 minutes early. Still on time to everything I see. I'm always on time at work.
Mr. Kaido's eyes drifted over towards me, still working in the corner.
You and Dirili are getting ready for the meeting? Yeah, she came a few minutes ago and offered to help out. She donated all this reference data for us to use.
I don't know if I donated. I just wanted to help us all. Mr. Kaido took absolutely no notice of my comment and picked up the papers.
These are them? Yeah, hers are at the bottom. It's comparative sales figures from other brands. It's perfect for the presentation today.
Oh, I've never seen him make that face.
Okay, I'm gonna head back to my desk. I'll leave the rest to you.
You're gonna leave us alone? Okay, I got it from here. Just me and Mr. Kaido? Talk about uncomfortable. He looked surprised. When Mr. Hyoga left, the room fell silent. I started to get restless. Those files were for personal use. I'm sorry if they're hard to read.
No.
After he perused the files for a moment, he looked up at me.
Your time in marketing shows.
Was that a compliment? Too shocked for words, my mouth hung open and I gave a dumbfounded expression.
What?
Oh, it's just that I never thought you would say something like that to me.
Who do you think I am? Just because I think you're a sad amateur doesn't mean I can't properly praise you.
Oh. Now that I think of it, he did compliment me on it when he helped me pick up the papers. But that first impression of him was so bad, I'd forgotten all about it. Thank you very much. When I lowered my head, he drooped into a moody silence. Mr. Kaido? Don't glare at me like that.
Dirili, you... Good day, everyone.
Just before Mr. Kaido could get another word in, a smiling Mahiro bounded in.
Huh? What the... Mr. Kaido and Dirili? You're here already?
Yeah.
And here I was thinking I was going to be first.
Sorry. Mahiro's charm instantly cut the tension in the room. You're not even close to being first. Mr. Hyoga was in here just a moment ago.
The boss has got the jump on you, huh? We need to step up our game. Oh, are those the reports you made, Dirili? Let me help you pass them out.
Thanks. This pile is okay to be distributed, but these aren't. Oh my gosh, Mr. Kaido, I'm sorry. You were about to say something, right? He was in the middle of saying something. Despite my apology, Mr. Kaido looked like he lost interest. He turned away from me.
It was nothing. The meeting is about to start. Pass those out before they get here.
Oh, you're right. It starts in another 5. With Mahiro helping, we passed out the packets of files.
And that concludes this week's staff meeting. Next week, we'll show off the product draft, so everyone plan accordingly.
Right. The meeting really flew by. Everyone began to exit the meeting room.
Wait behind a second, Dirili.
Yes? As I tried to leave the room with the others, Mr. Hyogo stopped me.
Mr. Otori had another meeting today, so he couldn't come, but he had a message for you.
What is it?
It's about who you're going to be partnered with.
Let me guess. Oh, right. With his absence, I thought the announcement would be pushed back until next week. Who's it going to be?
Oh, I'm sure you can pretty much already guess, but it's just as you were hoping for. You'll be with Kaido.
With Mr. Kaido? Mr. Otori's smiling face immediately came to mind. Why do I feel like this was his plan all along?
We've already informed Kaido. You two start working together today.
Okay. After our staff meeting, we had a meeting to decide the direction of our new product. He liked my materials today, but after yesterday, things might still be awkward. But Mr. Kaido must have given them the okay. I just got to do my best. But didn't he say that he didn't want to work with me? I must have changed his mind.
First, let's deal with the polish color. Any ideas?
Yes, actually. No, I can't. I can't start thinking that. They can't trust me yet. If I say something silly, he'll just call me a pathetic amateur again. I have to make Mr. Kaido trust me. I can prove myself to him with this project. I think red would be a good choice. Hearing my suggestion, Kaido looked up from the materials and narrowed his eyes at me.
Red. And why exactly?
Because it's a trend this year.
I see.
Seeming convinced, Mr. Kaido gave me a curt nod.
Red, huh? It is trending this year. What kind of red exactly?
Yeah, there's a lot of reds. Well, I hadn't thought that far ahead. You should have.
So that's it? That's the opinion you can offer this company.
I'm sorry, what?
You came off as such an amateur at first. Here I thought you might have something to say. But betting the company's money on an important decision like this, based on a reason as faulty as that.
Ah! Oh, darn it, I skipped the line.
And just a simple red. There are a ton of reds out there, and no plan to back it up. Did you really hope to be part of the planning department? I'm shocked to hear that.
So am I, honestly. You really can't just say red. So much of makeup is red and pink. Mr. Kaido continued to hurl insults at me from across the table. But consumers love in style colors. The data even proves that...
You're relying too much on that data. Because you're still just an amateur.
Back to that again. In a state of shock from his words, the papers I had been gripping... I... slipped from my fingers.
You're happy just to be in the marketing department forever? I'm listening to your opinions now because you're on the planning team now.
His gaze shot daggers through me. Unable to deny any of his words, I dropped my gaze to the floor.
If you think red is good, then that's fine. But because it's a trend, it's going to be the same as every product out there.
We can start our own trends.
Really, think about it. Christmas is a special time for women. You think they want to buy some cheap junk for such a special day? Or maybe you really don't get it. You haven't had a man in years, have you? You don't even know what Christmas means.
What?
Oh, can you prove me wrong with all your precious data?
Well, no. I hate to admit it, but he's right. Every brand will be putting out their best work for Christmas. How can our product ever stand out among that sea of red? I was specifically picked to work on this project. Will it really all end just because he was being mean to me?
I'm going to ask you one more time. What color do you think will be good?
That look in his eyes, he's scaring me. Red is too obvious, can't use that. But then, what should it be? Should I suggest another color? No, colors that are on trend sell better. Attempting to change the color is too big a risk. What should I say? Nothing is coming to mind. I continued to twitch my face, returning Mr. Kaido's cold stare.
We're done here.
After that remark, he collected his papers and stood. Mr. Kaido, please! Just give me a little more time.
You're not going to magically fix it. Waiting here is a waste of time. I'll give you until tomorrow. Give me something I can work with.
But even if I have until tomorrow, what should I do? Ask for advice. Wait, could you please give me some advice? Before I knew it, I was screaming for him to stay.
Fine. Now, what's bothering you?
If the product is the same color as everything else, it'll be dull. But I really don't think we can go off trend with the color. If red won't work, then what do you think it should be? I'd like some advice. He twisted his mouth into an audacious smile.
Let me think.
After a moment in thought, he came over to me. Mr. Kaido? Is he smiling? What happened? His smiling face was making me uncomfortable, and I began to back away.
Don't run away.
He suddenly grabbed my arm and dragged me into a corner. Hey, get off me! But don't really.
No. What are you going to do about it?
I noticed a smile spreading on his lips, and I felt anger swell through me. It was the same face as before. What awful thing is he going to say to me now? I'm not going to play your games. Just please get out of my way already. I'll scream for help if you don't.
You should really know when to give up.
He gave a heavy sigh, yanked my arm, and pulled me into his arms, pressing me against his chest. What the? Why on earth was Mr. Kaido holding me like this? I twisted my body beneath his arms, and just when I thought I was about to break free.
You're not going anywhere.
He looked so thin and frail, but his body was rock solid. No matter how much I struggle, I can't get out of his hold. And the more I struggle, the more I can smell his sweet cologne. It's like it's draining my energy. Why? Why is this happening to me? All he's done is force me against the wall and is stubbornly holding on to me.
That's right. Be a good girl. Just relax in my arms.
His whispers were mixed with the sweetest breath, and his lips grazed my skin. My body quickly began to heat up.
The meeting room is reserved until noon, right? No one's going to come by. We'll be alone, just the two of us. No one will bother us.
Please, let me go. I shook with pleasure as I felt his hot breath hit my lips. He smiled.
You're blushing, and the way your beautiful white skin is flushing.
He cut himself off, brought his lips to my ear and whispered,
It's like you're inviting me for more.
His hot, damp breath tickled my ears and my body responded. His hand slid silently into the pocket of my suit. What? My eyes fluttered open, and before me stood a very confused, blinking girl. Mr. Kaido? What is this mirror doing here?
Look closely. There's your answer. That color on your cheeks right now. That's the color I was thinking for this year's product.
Oh, that was a really cute plan. The color of my cheeks? I looked at myself, so wrapped in his arms, and noticed the slight tinge of color on me.
You're bright red. Looks like you don't need any rouge.
After making his point, he tossed me off him. You don't have to end it like that. Was he doing all that on purpose? Teasing me and laughing at me? Mr. Kaido.
What? You look frustrated. Oh, don't tell me you thought I was serious. Why would I even bother with someone like you? First it was Mr. Otori, and now me. You're totally ignorant when it comes to men, aren't you? It's like you're the poster child for dense, slow-witted girls.
Looking at his sarcastic grin, my eyes became red. I've said it before, you have no right to comment about my makeup like that. After screaming that, the smile fell from his face and he grew serious.
If that's what you think, then you'll never be anything more than just an amateur. We're wasting our time.
He turned away again and strode toward the door. Wait! You had said before that you didn't want to babysit me, right? So then why did you decide to partner with me?
I think that's my line. Why did you accept the offer?
Well, I can't tell him that it's because I didn't want to lose to someone like him. Well, you could. I could say, I like the challenge and I'll show you.
Jeez.
And with that mumble, he turned and left the meeting room. That afternoon, heading back to the office after buying lunch, I bumped into Mahiro.
Oh, hey Dirili. You heading out to eat now?
No, I was thinking of having a working lunch and just eating some bread at my desk.
Bread, that's it? You can't just eat bread. You have to get a well-balanced meal. I was just about to go get some lunch. You should come along.
I don't know. I have to think about the plan for our new project.
I'm not taking no for an answer. A smart woman knows when to separate work and rest. Plus, I don't think a good idea is going to pop into your head when you work like that. Right, so it's decided. I'm taking you to my favorite place.
Hey, Mahiro! Mahiro and I sat on the terrace at a cafe facing one another. That meeting earlier made me really upset. Lunch with Mahiro might make me feel a little better.
So you're undecided about the color, huh?
Yeah. Wanting to hear his opinion, I told him all about the meeting with Mr. Kaido. But I left the last rather uncomfortable portion out. Red would never work, but he suggested red. I really don't understand.
Well, I can actually understand where Mr. Kaido's coming from.
What? Why?
It's not just red. It's like a more, how can I say this, interesting or exciting color.
As he said this, he reached over and poked my cheeks.
It's a color you want to put on. It's an enchanting, glamorous color. It's not just any old red. There'd be no fun in that.
Red isn't interesting enough on its own?
It's not that. It's just, I don't really know how to explain it. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for asking all these questions. His finger had kind of tickled my cheek, so I scratched it when he took his hand back. I feel like I'm starting to understand what he was talking about. Thanks for listening. I feel a lot better.
Glad to hear it. Your problems are my problems, okay? Feel free to come talk to me anytime.
Thanks, I will. Oh, if only Mr. Kaido was as easy to talk to as you, Mahiro, this job would be so easy.
Mr. Kaido, huh?
After that mumble, Mahiro stared at me from across the table.
Your partner's Mr. Kaido, right?
Yeah.
He's attractive, nice, popular with the girls, and yet you're still having problems with him? How about you talk to Mr. Otori or Mr. Hyoga? Tell them you want to change partners.
I respect Mr. Kaido, and I want his body. Sure, I'm getting a little flustered at times, but he said so many horrible things to me, but that last meeting we had really taught me a lot. He's even pushed his own feelings about me aside and has complimented my work before. Well, I respect Mr. Kaido a lot, actually. Thank you for your concern. You're a nice guy, Mahiro. When I smiled at him, Mahiro's shining eyes turned into slits.
This side of me, it's reserved for you, Dirili.
Oh, it's not your rat yet. Don't say sweet things like that. Now, stop flirting. Your charms don't work on me.
What? No, it wasn't.
Seeing me laugh at his panic, Mahiro smiled back at me and relieved.
You're smiling again. Good. If something comes up, you can tell me, okay?
Okay, I will.
Oh, crap. I gotta get back. My superiors are gonna kill me.
Really? But don't we still have some time left before we have to get back?
Yeah, but today is crazy busy. I was planning on bringing food back to my desk, but then I ran into you. So I changed my mind. I figured lunch might be more fun with you. But I'm sure there are people who haven't eaten yet, so I gotta hurry back.
I'm sorry to have kept you.
No, don't worry about it. I wanted to talk to you. We may be in different departments, but we're all working on this project together. We should be sharing ideas more. It'll be good for us.
Yeah, you're right. We should have lunch again when we have the time.
Yeah. Oh. Uh-oh. We were starting to get along so well. No romance within this project, remember?
What? That was random.
Think about it. That was definitely Mr. Otori taking some serious precautions.
Oh, don't flatter yourself, Mahiro. This wasn't turning into romance right here. After our fun lunch break, we returned to the office. Back at the office, I found Mr. Kaido still working at his desk, staring at the computer. When I left for lunch, Mr. Kaido was still working. I wonder if he's taken his lunch yet. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this bread I bought. I ended up eating with Mahiro, so I never got around to it. I debated on whether or not to give it to him, but he was called away by someone. Well, if he's already eaten, then he can have it when he stays late tonight. I grabbed a pen and began to write. Thought you might want this. What should I write next? I won't let you down tomorrow. I wrote my declaration and put it down on his desk next to the bread. Now I should get back to work before someone starts yelling at me again. I returned to my seat and started to work again. Ooh, chapter 3 is called I Want to Kiss You. but is this more teasing or does he really want to kiss me? Are we really going to start getting into it? I mean, as much as I love the whole bullying and the sadism, I like to get into it and get the affection too. Because that's where it really gets fun, is when you're being affectionate and you have the bullying at the same time. It's not as much fun if you stay in the beginning stages too long. I really liked his plan cornering us like that and getting us to blush for that color. I think it must mean that he saw me blushing before and that inspired him and that was the color he wanted. Alright, well anyway, hope to see you on my next video. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.